So, hello, I'm Marko. I'm coming from Slovenia, from Beletrina. And looks like I've been introduced already in the previous session, so I won't talk about much about myself, just a bit regarding my background. Beletrina is, let me see, it counts. Oh, so I'm coming from NGO. Beletrina is a non-profit organization, and we've been around for like 30 years. Where a couple of guys decided to do a publishing business, and our core business is still publishing. So we still publish like over 100 books per year. It's mostly fiction and some non-fiction, but it's a bit more high-quality literature. And from the very beginning, we saw that publishing itself cannot do much. So it means the book is just a product and you need to work on it. And we constantly evolve. First, we did quite a lot of marketing events and stuff like this regarding to the book itself. But then we saw that book has a life cycle and we need to work on the life cycle. We need to live with the book. And at the end, the book is story, somehow a story. So we have to be storytellers, not just publishers who are trying to make revenue and sell the books at the end. As Laurent previously mentioned, we do quite a lot in outer fields. We do organize poetry festivals, reading festivals, international. We do a lot of European projects. We do lead quite a lot of them. One of them was mentioned by Laurent, was DPUB, which is quite in my field also, because I'm a CTO and do a lot of technical stuff, and it's very, very exciting to be part of educating, since this is what we've been doing for a long time. And one of the key things also that we are doing is making a very strong focus on accessibility. So we have formed a department inside of our organization that is actually just doing the accessibility certification of the website in Slovenia. We formed a team of 5 experts who are disabled by themselves, and they are doing the evaluation. So we're not doing the algorithms or stuff like this, but actually human evaluation, and we try to follow whatever we can learn here and to go on and make things accessible. It's a long way, it's a long path, but since we are in that type of business, also in the publishing, it is something that we are very keen on working on. Otherwise, we do also some other networkings. We have the Versopolis platform, which is a poetry platform of the world poetry festivals. We are leading partner, and this was the only networking project that was founded by the EU and has been now refounded for the 3rd time, and it began with like 20 partners. Now it's over 70 or 80 partners all over the world. So we try to be as wide as possible in our work. Like 10 years ago, we decided that it's time that actually we bring ebooks into Slovenia. So it was Kindles were all over the world. Kobo was doing whatever it was trying to do, but it's such a small country who probably some of the people doesn't even know where it is, especially the big ones. We ended up that we can publish books on Apple. We cannot publish books in Kindle ecosystem because they don't support Slovenian. Kobo was also one of the partners, but they got acquired by Rakuten, and their focus turned to Far East. And so we end up building a system by our own. In collaboration with libraries, we developed a system which is called Biblos platform, and it's still in use today. It's used in all public libraries. In Slovenia, it's used in special libraries, in national libraries. It's also used in primary and secondary school as a system. It's also used outside Slovenia, in Croatia, in some part of Croatia. And we've been working a lot on it, and we've been quite happy with it, because it was very good playground for us. We learned a lot, and we also learned that we need to educate everybody, because publishers didn't know 10 years what to do, how to do an ebook, how to buy rights for ebook, how to actually distribute book, and at the end we end up that we need to establish our own conversion service. We needed to educate them how to buy rights, how to use the system, and at the end we needed to persuade them that the ebooks will not cannibalize print sale. But it took like 3 to 4 years, but it ended up quite good, because the numbers were growing up, and they are still growing. So we were living quite happy life until this thing struck. It's really bizarre that numbers blasted. Everything was closed. All our servers were crashing, because all of a sudden we were the only source that actually were able to deliver content to the public. I know that spikes when you look at it, and it goes like up in the 10th floor, and you were still in the 2nd floor, and you thought that you will go into 2nd or 3rd floor in next years, but all of a sudden you just go up. And there was one key thing, that we were using the Adobe, which was the only system that was available, because we wanted to have a system that supports all platforms. So it also means e-reading on e-devices, e-ink and stuff like this. And it was quite a complex one. And everything was crashing. We weren't happy. So we started to think about what's new and how can we solve this. We somehow overcome the COVID. We were happy. Users were happy. Not all of them, because and Android applications were quite crappy with the Adobe RM SDK, but otherwise it was working, so it was okay. But we started to think what to do next. What will be our next step? We saw that the Adobe was a long time that they started to develop their product, the Adobe, the ADE, the ACS, and whatever components they are connected to it. So the LCP was something that I was quite a long time looking at it, but it was on some stage that it could be adopted, but we saw that we need quite a lot, since we needed to use it in a whole system. So it means on ebook readers, on other devices, and there were some problems with security, but also in that time the Adobe also had already problems with security. So at the end, we saw that the world is changing towards platforms which are not anymore on the consuming. So it means you have one copy, one license, one transaction, stuff like this, but people are aiming towards subscription. Everything is going towards subscription. Even the software that we are using, we had to rent it, not buy it anymore. I still have licenses for all the Adobe suites, but I can't use them anymore because we are now on it. And we saw that actually people would like to have content, but and they are prepared to have it for a small fee, a monthly fee. So it's similar to library. It's actually the library, but everybody's doing now. It's imitating library. So our thoughts were actually that we have to go in that direction. If we want to go on some other fields to test something new and to go on with our story. So at the end, we sell stories. We put stories in the world. We put content in the world, and we try to just bring new experiences to people. So at the end, we saw it's not just about book. It's about content, and it's about story. It's about storytelling. And for us, it was, we need to switch to some more wide aspect and to look at it from completely broader, different perspective at the end. So then we thought, why wouldn't we pack everything in much more wide way? So at the end, we put all our thoughts that what do we need, what do we want, and one of the things was that it's a digital environment. We need to put as many of the things that we have into it. We wanted to have the user experience that actually works. We want to test new concepts. And of course, we want to continue to develop e-reading and generally reading story and reading environment in Slovenia. So at the end, we end up with coming at a much more broader, with broader idea. So we decided to build a system that will not only have books, audiobooks, but we will put much more content in it. So it means we will put into the movies, we will do the podcasts, audiobooks as them, we will put in the articles. So like you would put Netflix with, with Spotify and the New Yorker and also all the content that is possible to create it. And one of the key things that we decided, we will build it on LCP because it's enabling us quite a lot. And there was one problem. No such system exists anywhere. I tried to find it. Maybe I wasn't looking everywhere, but I spoke with Laurent a couple of years ago at Frankfurt Book Fair. We had a quite long discussion, and it came out. I was looking for this, and said, I have a friend. I know a company who is doing the movie business. We might merge these things together. And Laurent ended up hooking us with Noop, a small French company who is very good in what he's doing. I think Cyril is here. Hi, Cyril. Thank you for everything. And they were very good at the movie business, the VOD, covering Arte and Universiné. And we said, okay, now let's try to merge everything into one app and one system. And at the end, we actually turned out to have a system. It was quite a long time to develop it. It was quite a long path. Next slide, please. Thank you. So we built a pretty much complex system. I won't go into details because I know half of you are not technically backgrounded, but at the end, if I just say that we have a course here who is actually delivering everything and managing all the calls. Then we have the DRM system, we have a front-end system, and all the necessary bricks that we need to have, that system is running. So it's a subscription system which has quite a lot of demands to be working on, quite a lot of components. Most of them were done by us. The application and the media server, everything was developed in cooperation with Noop. Front-end was developed by our other agency, and the core was developed by our department and outsourcing our service that we always work with. So it's pretty much complex structure, but at the end it somehow works. It was launched a couple of days ago. This is to see it was just a soft launch, so we are still in some phase that we are testing everything and trying to build up as much as better experience as it is. And it was quite funny that the first subscriber came even before that we actually launched the system. We just transferred the web to a final URL, and all of a sudden lead programmer is going, somebody just went into and put in their credit card details and you already ordered. And I said, how come? Well, we didn't close it. And the next day we actually launched it. So somebody was actually pre-releasing it, definitely. So the content itself, it's quite a variety. We are trying to build a catalog very wide. And so we are doing through the web page. So the content is, if we are reading ebooks, we can read them through application and on Torium reader. Movies, audiobooks are being able to play it with the web page or applications. Articles are currently only available on web page. We are working with Noop that we also put articles so the people can read articles also in the application. And we will also support e-readers, e-devices with our Inkbook, with our partner that is developing the e-ink devices for us. And we are just waiting for them to finish with V2 LCP integration, so we can also switch the system to this. The Beletrina Digital was, I think, the first system that was able to adopt V2, thanks to Laurent, and it was quite a path, but it's working now, and it's working very good, I have to say. So the applications for Android and iOS are available. We didn't decide to go to Huawei, to App Gallery. For now, we will see how it will go. And the general idea was actually just to do wide thing. So our work. We have evaluated our work and we saw that we actually have achieved quite a lot. It's a very wide thing, as I mentioned. We managed to incorporate quite a lot of experts, consortium, and what I'm most happy is that we managed to work with the LCP, with the EDRLab, so we are using the open source platform, not connected to some Adobe like we were connected before, because it's much easier, and we are actually, I'm very happy that this is the standard that will go on, that will develop. So if we will grow, the system components will also grow, will adopt. If there will be any problem with security, they will be solved. We will not just be wait for hanging. And we saw that actually a system is very flexible. For instance, when we were testing, we noticed one problem with the Thorium reader. I spoke directly to Daniel, and in a couple of days that problem was solved. It was not a problem of Thorium, it was a problem of badly prepared ebook, but at the end I asked Daniel what can be done here, and said, okay, this is something that can be solved, and it was solved in a couple of days, and you have the new version of Thorium available, which has just one fixed for a badly formatted EPUB. So we still think that there are quite some things to be done. One of the things is we would also like to implement ebooks to be able to read into a browser. We would like to also support, now we are only streaming audiobooks, we would like to do them as also as a download. So this is the next phase that we will be implement downloading via LCP and protected via LCP, and we would like to, in case experience, so we would like to synchronize audiobook and ebook. So if somebody is reading ebook on a device, if it has something to do or it has to commute, it can continue to read the content itself or listen content itself, so it can switch between different things, different media, different devices, and it's still quite a challenge. We tested it a bit, but it's not there. And because Noop is also very good at the VOD, we will implement smart TV app, and we will try to put as much as content there. So I hope we'll be able also to push ebooks into TVs, but this is the next step. So Beletrina Digital is something that we are quite proud of it now. The experience, which actually, I think it's a story or whatever we have needs to be bring to people on the as much as possible way as we can deliver. And this is all just to aim the quality and the quality of experience of the end user and the reader. Okay. Thank you. Sorry?
we will do a Q&A.
Yeah. You can move to next slide. I think if there are some questions, I think we have 8 minutes or something like that.
Some questions in the room? To Marko, it's the opportunity to speak about architecture. And you see that this is a quite complex system with, everything. Yeah. Text, video, audio, different devices, desktop, mobile, web, and e-reader. So it's proposed in Slovenia only, or it's proposed in many countries?
For now, it's Slovenian only. So before started, we said we will be in Slovenia, and then when we will wrap up everything up, all our to-do list done, then we will go wider. So it's not meant to be a white label for now or something like that, but I think it might become also white label in the future. But for now, it's here, and we will go into some neighboring countries, which are we already connected. So, but this is a beginning only.
Thank you.
Hi. Since you do video as well, I'm just thinking, do you implement, or are you doing books in sign language as well? Or are you implementing sign language into your product as well?
You mean as a video material?
Yeah, or books translated into sign language, which...
No, currently we have oriented to the same genre and scope that we have in books. So we are covering not some blockbusters, but we're covering European and festival production. But it's a pity that we don't have something like that in Slovenia available. But we are aiming towards that accessible content, that is. But it's really a problem in European aspect. I think it's not that developed yet. So this is something that we are actually missing to how to support the all the groups with disabilities.
Thank you.
Yep.
Are there other questions? We still have some minutes. I see one on the...
Hi, Marko. This is Priyanka. So, So as Lauren has already introduced, I recently joined EDRLab, and I have a couple of exchanges with you, I guess, from Beletrina. So I wanted to ask you about the subscription model that you said for Beletrina Digital. This is something I also will touch upon in the presentation. So my question is around scaling this kind of a business model. How do you see the response from the users and importantly from the publishers in this kind of a model? And how do you see, what is your vision to scale this kind of a model?
I'm afraid you hit the rabbit hole. So the business model, I would just say two things. We have two packages available, so it's not all content, but it's the cheaper subscription is just ebooks and audiobooks. So, sorry. And the premium package is all content, so articles, movies, podcasts, and stuff like this. It was very hard to, since we have not just Slovenian content, we do have core source content. We are communicating with Ingram to have there. We have foreign publishers, and it was really hard to put everything into the paper. At the end, I finish up with 5 different business models. How do we calculate revenue? Because somebody is allowing pool model, somebody is not allowing, somebody is paper loan or paper use, and somebody would like to get paid for usage, so how many percentage of the content was read at the end. Somebody is allowing buying a content as a license, as a package license. So we end up with 5 different things. So it really is a lot. But subscription at the end for user, it doesn't matter. He just wants to consume a content. So we saw that users are used to it now. They are used to put their credit card and forget about it, and just to get minus every 10 euro every month or something like that, and this is it at the end. So.
Last question or not? Time for last? No? Okay. Well, thank you very much, Marko.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure.